Never before in all our history have these forces been so united against one candidate as they stand today. They are unanimous in their hate for me, and I welcome their hatred.
The needs of working families in the middle class, not just the billionaire class. We know what's going on. We are paying attention.
Oh, good morning, everybody. It is the end of the corporate age and the beginning of a whole new era of car ovens. That's a new fad in Phoenix, Arizona. I remember used to see pictures of people cooking eggs on the street, and now you can just, well, there's a whole bunch of, we'll look at it. That cover is a melting wall. But in Phoenix, they've got just people doing whole recipes. Instead of like a taco truck, we'll just have a car oven truck. What are you cooking in the back of your car? I got cookies. It's 275 degrees in the back of my car. Not that they speak with those accents in Phoenix. Anyway, that's we're gonna look at that. That's on some pretty crazy shit. This is a wall. That's a plastic wall. You know, you can buy those at Lowe's. I don't know why you'd want to do that. I looked at those, but what happens is they get real dirty, and then you can tell it's plastic, but whatever. So people put that wall, but it's melting because the concrete surface temperature in Phoenix has been around 168 degrees. That's a lot. That's hot. And I got some other pictures we'll look at that we got mailboxes melting and all sorts of stuff. And at the same time, people are still saying this is just typical. They have these temperatures in Phoenix. Granted, they do. They haven't even hit the historical high that they had there, which was a few degrees higher than this in 1920 something or whatever. Of course, this isn't climate change. It's not global warming. Just keep thinking that. It's all right. Keep thinking that. Everything will melt. End of the corporate age and the end of a lot of people who refuse to look at facts. That's okay. You know, if there was going to be a way that we were going to unify, it'll be with climate change directly affecting all of our lives. Either we survive or we don't. And those who are going to recognize climate change and prepare for it and do what they can probably have at least a little better chance than those who are going to remain wholly ignorant of it. Just a little caveat. I don't know. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Jim, nice Jim. You got Joyce, Jupiter, Judy. We've got double Germans today, everybody. Mike Norton, how you doing? Jim Lockett, Arizona, kind of deserves it. Listen, I've got friends in Arizona. They don't deserve that. Dennis is laughing. No. But that's the truth is, I say that too. You've heard me say it all the time. Everybody in the South has been denying, they praise the Bible and deny climate change. You deserve it. But there's a lot of people there that are aware and are trying to change that area, just like here we're trying to make changes. So it's not nice to say, but the sad thing is climate's going to do what climate's going to do. It's not like we can really, stop it from pushing tornadoes through an area whenever it feels like it, right? Whatever. What we are seeing though is, yes, dueling Germans, Jupiter, Judy, the extremes. That's what's messing us up right now. Is it goes from really hot to I just watched the temperature in the United States in the southwestern United States, southeastern United States, go from plus 10 to 15 degrees above average to minus 5 to 10 degrees below average. Right? That's extremes. That's where the environment is really messed up. Where the rest of the species that we rely on to keep this place solid don't know what to do anymore because they keep thinking it's summer. No, it's winter. Not summer. It's winter. What do we got going on here? Right? And it affects us too. It makes us more tense. It makes us irritable. Our bodies adjust to these different things, and now they don't know what to do. So there's long-lasting effects. But overall, Phoenix right now melting. They're getting a little break with cooler temperatures, but can't wait for August. August ought to be outstanding for those folks. Anyway, so many people, Kat and Al and Poodle Susan and Lynn Vermont, Eco Sucha and Mick Norton and I'm sorry if I'm not getting all your names, Robert. They changed the comment system on me, and it's weird right now. I've got to get used to what they did in the back of hey, Joyce Sander and Tanisha Foster, how are you? We have double Germans, I said, and we're going to bring them both on. First, we have Dennis. I want to say first because we have a special surprise. But first, Dennis, how are you doing this morning?
I'm pretty good. Yeah, it's all right.
It's all right? Just all right?
I can smoke. I can smoke, eat, drink, have sex anytime I want.
That's
it's
right.
Over, so yeah.
Ramadan is over for you, correct?
Yeah.
There we go. Good times again.
I'm happy. I'm happy. It's over. The hard times are over.
Great. How was your final feast? How was the final feast? Good food? Look, you're eating.
Oh yeah.
He's eating.
He's still eating.
He's pulling a Scott. He's still making up for past times there. Scott used to eat breakfast all the time on the show. And now, with wider, huger bandwidth from Germany, we have the burning German Markus Kranz. Look at this, everybody. In full HD spectacle. Markus, how are you doing this morning?
Hey, guys. Thank you. First, thank you for the warm welcome in chat. And I'm happy to be back. And as usual at this time, good morning, America. I hope you guys are doing great. And let's do it. Let's rock the show. John, what do you have for us?
Well, thanks, Markus. I appreciate that. I don't know. I'm busy looking at all these comments. New people, how you doing? Hey, Ashley. Yeah, wow, in HD. Look, everybody. Just take a minute and look at the back of. Look at behind Markus. It's all that fuzzy stuff we could never see before. Look at that. And just for the record, that is not. Well, it is a retro phone, right, Markus? It's a retro phone on the wall, but it's not for calling people.
It's a vintage door phone. You know,
door
when
phone,
somebody rings, I can hear who it is, and it's much more comfortable than running down the stairs and seeing it's only the witnesses of Jehovah, and it's quite comfortable. Yes.
So they bother you in Germany too?
Yes, of course. They are kind people, but I think it is not. It makes for me not any purpose to get into deep conversation about their belief.
All right. Katie says, Markus, you look so young. So the HD was better for you.
Yes. Okay. I suggest we start a vote, and depending on the outcome, on the results, I would maybe go back to the 6K bandwidth, or we'll stick to the HD one.
No.
It's up to you guys.
I love it much better. It's perfect. Thank you both for joining me today. And so many new names. Hey, Patricia, how you doing? Eco, good to see you. Holly, good morning. Soul Rebel, good morning. And Topsy Turvy, how are you doing? Ilkan, so many names. What did I just see? I said Jody. Jody wants me to talk about USA warning of chemical attack. I would call that. I would be weary every day. But I guess we made an announcement that it's going to happen. And I'm sure that we're working behind the scenes to make sure it does. Anybody have any other comments on that? I don't know what else to say besides that. Hey, Density. All right. That's all I got. So Arizona melting, weather different, right? And we've got some scary stuff in climate to talk about here in a little bit. Hey, Mark, how you doing, Mark? You love your Jehovah's Witnesses, Mark?
They're okay. I have nothing against them, but
right.
I think discussions with them leads to nowhere. For me, with my belief system, it may be bullshit, but it's my belief system, you know.
Agreed. I mean, they are nice people, but I don't want to take. I don't need to. Anyway. Hey, Hey, Kat. How are you doing? Oh, that's right. Well, I see somebody, Sandy Blue Ocean. How you doing, Sandy? You've been sending a lot of comments in chat. Nice to talk to you. Love to talk environment with you. I'm getting people mixed up, though, because there's Sandy Blue Ocean who's talked to me, and there's an environment. There's another person who's doing environmental stuff, and we're talking with them too. And I'd love to do a Friday. To whoever's out there and listening, who's connected directly with environment, one of the problems I've had has been inundated with way too much email and other info in the last several days, and I've been dealing with a little bit of an emergency with Milo and his eye, so I've been very, very distracted. But I've talked to a whole bunch of people on environmental stuff lately in Facebook and other places, and if you want to work with me on doing more of an environmentally focused Friday show, I would love to have your help, meaning you come on, you help me build a rundown, you understand what that means, you come on and talk about environment, you're a host, whatever. I'd love to. I think it was Environmental Coffee House. That's who it was. And you guys were telling me about Environmental Coffee House so that's, anyway, if you're the people I've been talking to about environment, remind me of that after this. I won't remember. And say, let's talk about doing a Friday segment, because I would enjoy doing that. And we need to do it. We used to have it. We are the same. Sandy Blue Ocean, you're the same. Okay. It's not. See what I'm saying? You're the same person. I thought I was talking to two different people about environment. Okay. Moving on. We got some big things to talk about. Today is Tuesday. Later on today, I have a meeting with the Lynn County Democratic Party. A group of it does publicity to talk, and communications basically, to talk about how we're going to do more communication and publicity through this kind of technology. And we're getting ready, thanks to the help of Ashley Terry, to broadcast, do a live stream from the Lynn County Democrats on 7/6, right? Events. Tomorrow, Randy Bryce. I'm so nervous. I've been spending so much time on the rundown, and I know it's just going to be a blast. We have Randy Bryce coming on the show. He's picked a great end song, Dropkick Murphys, which I think Markus should be familiar with. Yes?
I know the Dropkick Murphys, yeah.
I kind of figured you would.
Cool.
Dennis?
Me too.
Yeah, you familiar? Okay.
Me too.
So looking forward, we've got some great material to cover with Randy Bryce. Very excited to have him on. And he continues to piss off the establishment and on both sides, GOP and Dem, right? His mustache is apparently doing great ratings on MSM. So
the Iron Stash.
Yeah.
It's the Iron Stash.
Iron Stash, exactly. And I'm excited to talk to him because it seems like he's got several challengers. There's two other people who have said they're running against Ryan on the Democratic side of things. I don't know anything about either one. So it'll be interesting to see, where they fall, if they have any chance. One of them, to me, looks like a Hillary, like Hillary all the way, and part of the establishment. Like he may be the establishment run, but I don't even want to judge. I don't know, right? Because there's not enough information out there for me to say. So, anyway, yeah, good. I'm glad. Me too. Looking forward to seeing Randy. Hey, Poodle Susan. Yes, that is tomorrow. Oh, and there's a rally in Burlington, Vermont tomorrow. That's cool. That's very cool. Okay, so what else is going on? After that, we the people on 7/5, Stephen Jaffe. Here, I'll show you the card. Here is the card. Randy Bryce on 6/28. We the people with Stephen Jaffe on 7/5. And now, we're in the top stories. Ground game, I'm going to talk a little bit more about live streaming and what we need to do. Mark Casebeer, if you're still in the audience. Hey, Patricia, how are you? Nice to see you. Yes, this weekend was another big DNC betrayal weekend with Rendon. Yes. Okay, so death care bill seems to be dead. I think we have 6 GOP folks that are not going to vote yes on this, no matter how hard Mitch McConnell, little Mitch, not going to get what he wants. They're shoving money this way and that way. You've got 2 factions here. You've got Republicans that are trying to have some sort of continued moral standing on something and recognize that their ass is toast if they vote yes on this bill because they're up for re-election, and we've got people ready to kick their ass out of office. Yay, like Randy Bryce, right?
Exactly.
Yes, but beyond that, so Senator Susan Collins, this news just came out this morning, and this is a big news because she was apparently a key vote in this. A second here. Not even looking at the right picture. Who's the guy working production? So this was just announced this morning. All right. Although that says 8. This isn't last night. My bad. 16 hours ago. I didn't even catch this part of it. Senator Susan Collins, Republican Maine, said on Monday she would vote against a motion to proceed on the Senate's controversial health care bill because, well, it's a piece of shit. You know? And she knows that she's not going to last if she votes yes. The Republicans that are not willing to take the money and bear the battle. That's the dividing line here. If they think they're solid, if they think in their state they can last, if they think they're going to have enough support, or if the money that they're getting is enough for them to like, well, if I lose next time, I'm a millionaire, I don't give a shit, right? Then they're going to vote yes on this. Mitch McConnell looks like it's pretty much dead in the water. They're trying, and they're going to keep offering money, and they're going to keep wheeling and dealing. But
even the Koch brothers get involved.
Yeah, but the Koch brothers want it the other way. That's what
Yes.
makes it beautiful. Right? The Koch brothers are saying it's a terrible bill because it doesn't do enough to fuck Americans. So we don't want you to pass it either. It's the same thing they said last time.
No. The last news I heard was that the Koch brothers are threatening the Republicans. Both brothers invited a lot of Republicans, and they threaten them if they don't bring the bill through. They would stop all the money. It was not only the Koch brothers, but other billionaires and millionaires there. And they all said the same. And some already said, okay, we will stop to pay anything to you until we see the result with the passed bill.
All right. Well.
And
yes, Dennis?
And furthermore, the real hypocrisy comes with Mitch McConnell. When he was a kid, he had polio. He got treated through a government-provided healthcare system at that time, the GI Bill and so on. And now he's old rich fuck and gets all the money from all these lobbyists and so on, and forgetting about his past. No? And that is what I said last week on the show.
Yep.
Mitch McConnell is a perfect example for what money can do with the human brain and condition.
Very nice, Dennis. Very nice. That's it. And I just want to say that was a lovely F-bomb you dropped, and I appreciate all of the F-bombs you dropped during Marcus's absence. You really helped.
But I know you Americans are very
Yes.
It's something normal here. If you speak like you are thinking,
how could
can't
you not
help myself?
Well, right.
Yeah, I can help myself when I see this craziness and idiocy. Thank you. And these words are in my brain, and they have to leave, because if I don't let them out, it will influence my mental health, and I will think about it all the time. So keep it out so that people know what you think and what's your opinion about these topics and these things, and I'm not afraid to say what I think. So.
Well, I appreciate that. Americans are relearning that. What we've been taught is that's not polite.
I hope they're learning it really fast.
I think we are. Time. If we don't want to, climate change will make us. That's the fun thing.
Mother Earth is punishing us for our behaviors in the past couple of centuries. Yeah,
no matter how you want to look at it.
Too late if you then use the fuck bombs and all this shit. So
Thank you, Dennis. Appreciate your perspective there, sir. And right, there are no words.
Maybe, Dennis, maybe I should continue the F-bomb list for you.
Okay.
You guys need to maintain it together. It's going to take both of your efforts, really, to keep that going and keep it accurate with the number of F-bombs that are dropped here. It's one of the reasons we keep our numbers where they are. Anyway. Wow, you guys talk about a lot of stuff. MSM reporting breaking news. Senate GOP likely delaying health care bill vote till after July 4th break. Really? Aw, darn, Mitch. Oh, you couldn't pull it off? Nobody wanted to vote for death care? Unbelievable. It's even the Republicans that haven't come out directly to say they will vote no have said, we could actually try providing some health care. Right? Like there's not even any health care in there. There's the most ridiculous provision that they added at the last minute. They're like, yeah, this is a good idea. Put this in there. This sounds great. Like, this wasn't in there. Last minute, let's make it even better. People like me who can't afford health care in the first place. Right? I'm not technically married. I don't share financial responsibility with my partner. I don't have a job. The donations that I take in afford coverage of some of the bills that keep this stuff running. I couldn't buy insurance if I fucking wanted to. And, I'm not really looking for a job, so unemployment isn't really fair. I'm not going to go on unemployment and just kind of suck it off the state because I'm not looking for a job, right? So their new penalties. If a person cannot afford insurance or chooses not to get insurance for whatever reason, they will now be penalized 6 months and not be allowed to get insurance for 6 more months. Who gives a fuck? I mean, really? It's like, if a person is dead and they won't get health insurance, then we're going to kill them. They're already dead, you stupid assholes. It makes it okay. Penalize me more. Darn. If the point was to actually insure more, actually, that is right there. That's the key. This isn't about insurance. They want it to be. I'm going to read an article with Scott Galindez. He wrote you guys got to understand that Scott right now is a victim of Obamacare. His life was also saved by Obamacare. His life was put into limbo by Obamacare. Had he had single payer or a decent healthcare system, had he been in Canada, had he been in Germany, had he been almost anywhere around the fucking world, except maybe Turkey. But even in Turkey, he might have had better chances. Who knows? Okay.
Yeah, American dollars are more worth as the local currency. So yeah, probably he would get treated. Yeah.
Right. See what I'm saying? He could have gone over there with a couple $100 and would have been like, "Here's some new kidneys. Go home."
Yeah, but I have to say, I retweeted a tweet from Roseanne from the Nurses Society or Union you have in America. She tweeted about that we in Germany have our healthcare system, single payer healthcare system, since the 1900s, and some right-winger idiot answered on that. And the German used their single payer system for genocide for the Jews. And what did I do? I answered on that. If you deny today Americans treatment and healthcare, isn't it also some kind of genocide? And he didn't. He was not able to answer to that. So in that moment, I knew I was right. So yeah.
Wow. Nice. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
I said.
That's where we sit right
all
here.
This you're conservatives. So.
Yes.
Sorry, John.
No. That's good. Hey guys, Sandy, that's ridiculous. $800 a month for you and your husband for healthcare. That's most Americans. That's $800. I don't make. Hey, you know what I make? I make about $200 a month. That right now, somewhere between 2 and 3, depending on where donations sit. Honestly, right. When YouTube was actually functioning, that was another $50 to $100 a month. Right. Yeah, I couldn't afford that. I couldn't afford. I looked into Obamacare. I couldn't afford. The Obamacare plans were useless. Right. So that whole "you better get Obamacare," whatever. Scott Galindez, I wanted to get into this story. We're gonna get into it now. I want to make sure I hit everything on the cards though, because we got a lot to talk about. We're gonna talk about Theresa May and the DUP it looked. We'll get that into a second. I want these guys, the Germans' opinions on this. It really just looked to me like they bought off. Here's some money. Shut up. It's really what it looked like to me. I don't know, like pretty obvious.
Come on,
but
come on, John.
I don't know. Anyway,
it's like the mafia. You give my money and you do everything that I say.
All right, that's what I thought. But it's the Irish mob this time.
The best thing about all this is, it won't be only 1 billion, because the DUP now has Theresa May completely in their hand, and if they say we want another billion, she will give them another billion.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. She wants to. She is clinching to the power she has, and she is not willing, and the Tories, of course, are not willing to give it away. And and we will see how far it leads. And I said earlier to Dennis that I expect what was normally unthinkable, but I expect that this government will break down within a few months, and I expect another election this year.
Yeah? Do you think it's only take a few months? We might as well just talk about it now, since we're talking about it. So I mean, we're just going to, I'll get back to Scott, but we're talking about Theresa May anyway, because it was on the card. So here's the deal, right? The original, it's $1 billion, but I also read somewhere in there that each MP, somebody's MPs get some cash too. Wasn't that what I read? It's like a direct payout.
I only had a few minutes time today to check it with the news. I checked it in during my break, and there was I read nothing about a personal payments to politicians, but I read that there are already other countries like Scotland and Ireland or North Ireland are already complaining about the $1 billion gift, and they want the same now. And it is now a complete chaos which is going to develop there, and we will see where it leads. And I'm optimistic. If you saw, we saw what happened in Glastonbury, for example. The crowd is going nuts when Jeremy Corbyn appears, and yes, he's the Bernie guy who is who cannot be who is not corrupt, who cannot be bought, and who has his ideas and his ideology, and which both have for decades, and this makes them authentic, and this is demanded now in the US and in even more in the UK now, because in the UK I see the chances are higher now for a change in government.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. I see the chance higher. It looks like there was an article this morning from the BBC that that the Tories were pissed off and blaming BBC for promoting the Corbyn Glastonbury thing, and they're just. It reminds me very much of politics over here in that sense, where they're blaming the other party for this, that, and the other bullshit. The difference seems to be, though, in the UK, that their system, their government system, and their election process are not quite as effed as ours. Therefore, change seems to be actually possible through election, not just bribery. Right?
Yes.
Both work. You see bribery happening, and you see election happening.
Yes. It is not so corrupt, so deeply corrupted like in the US.
Yeah.
And there's still a chance for the people to make a change happen, and I hope it will happen soon, because the Brexit negotiations are waiting, and it is urgent now. And I hope Theresa May and the Tories go down as fast as possible.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Dennis?
And furthermore, Jeremy Corbyn's social minister or something. I don't remember her name, but she ripped the Tories a new a-hole, and she talked about the 1 billion gift. She said, how is it possible to have 1 billion out of nowhere when we are asking for years to fund our national healthcare system, a fire department, or police, and so on? And now you're doing this shitty deal with the DUP, and now you have the money? Come, go fuck yourself.
Right. Well, it's the same thing here. We can spend whatever we need on F-35s, but when we need, a few more bucks for veterans, no, where's that going to come from?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same bullshit. And just to give you, it's just across the pond over here, the same kind of bullshit. What you see happening with the direct corruption. Senator Dean Heller, who was one of the bigger Republicans to come out against the healthcare plan, there's a group now, a pro-Trump group, America First Policies, right, which is probably just some super PAC set up by Koch brothers or one of the other assholes that wants to keep controlling the world, right? And they've got a 7-figure attack campaign going against this guy. Obviously, they want to get rid of him, replace him with another Republibot that will just do whatever the fuck they want him to do. I mean, this really comes down to, you can see how much less control we have of our government at top levels compared to the UK, compared to France, compared to other countries that have worked hard at their democracies, keeping their public officials in check. And it's done by participating, which is what we're learning. And it's really frustrating when you jump into the game decades later and go, I don't even understand how this fucking thing is played, right? Which is what we're doing right now. And I mean played, because it's not run like a government. It's played like a game, like a business, And that's really what we're going through. By the way, so many new names. How you doing? New names and names I haven't seen in a long time, but welcome everybody. Good to see you. Hey, Chemo, how you doing? And Kevin, how are you? Jeanette, nice to see you. How are you? Wonderful, wonderful. Jilly Love, good morning. Snork, Y2K. Al, good morning, good morning. Okay, moving on, right? What we're going to move on from the whole thing. We're done talking about those guys. I just want to recap that they took a bunch of money. I want to, and it's party maneuvering. So what they did for $1 billion right now was rent 10 MPs. All right, that's like in America where it's like behind closed doors, and then all of a sudden you see, well, who donated to them? Oh, well, that's why he voted no on that, because these people donated. This is all up front. 10 MPs will now lend their votes to the Tories because of a $1 billion deal signed. Whether those 10 MPs actually get money or not, I mean, I thought I saw an article where it said they were going to get an actual kickback. It doesn't matter. They get a kickback one way or the other, right? That's buying politicians. We don't have, the people of the UK, Corbyn's party didn't even have the option of rounding up $1 billion to hand over to somebody for votes, right? Here, we have the problem of rounding up billions of dollars, and luckily we don't have to round up $1 billion, thank God, not yet, but we have to round up millions and millions of our own dollars and combine them so that we can run 7-figure attack campaigns against people who are running 7-figure attack campaigns against people we don't even want in office at all. To put somebody else in office, like Randy Bryce is going to be running against 2 other Democrats. At least one of them is going to have the full support of the Democratic Party, the Hillary machine, probably the Russians. I mean, Randy Bryce's mustache is going to need a fuck ton of money. And Randy Bryce knows this. He's not going to win on Iron Stash alone. He needs Gold Stash. It's the sad reality, and By the way, just a quick complete aside, Mark Caspear, I saw the note about the birthday thing on the 30th, and there's a gazillion things actually happening on the 30th. So thank you for the invite. I'll look at it and talk to you, but really appreciate that. Milo's got Doctor on the 30th, and there's a live stream. No, not a live. I don't even. There's two insane things going on the 30th that I can't even remember either way. Right now, we're gonna get serious, and we're gonna. I just want to read. I want to read Scott Galinda's article to you, because Scott Galinda is my friend, and he needs kidneys. It's frightening for me to just say that. I have a friend who needs kidneys, and because of the shit state of our healthcare in this country, he probably won't get kidneys. And he's on a ticking clock because anybody who's on dialysis really only has about 5 years of life. It's not like you get stuck on a machine and you're good to go. The body can't take that kind of shit. But Obamacare, which saved Scott's life, also kind of stuck it in limbo. And we're gonna look at that. This is try saving healthcare, not the insurance industry, because basically what we have is an insurance care bill, making sure they continue to profit off our death or whatever state of life they choose to leave us in when we can't afford more. And that's basically what it is. How much life can you afford? And Scott Galindez has been told, here's your limit, Scott. Here's what you get. If you had more money, it wouldn't be a problem, right? Let's face it, Obamacare is not sustainable. The reason is the private insurance industry is not sustainable unless they are allowed to let sick people die. There is also a huge problem with letting the market determine cost when life and death are on the line. I would like to say that being able to say, pay this for your surgery or die is an unfair bargaining position. That's basically where he's at. Pay this for your surgery or die. Pay this for your kidneys. Pay this for your dialysis. Pay this for your medical bills. Pay this for your pills. If you can't pay this, it's your fault. There's Republicans that have made statements to that. My kids won't grow up being a drain on the system medically. America would be a better place without Aetna, Wellmark, Blue Cross and Blue Shield, and other health insurance companies. They are the real death panels that the right accused Obamacare of creating. Obamacare fully implemented with some tinkering, is a profitable system for the insurance industry. Obamacare sabotaged by the GOP could cut into those profits. Obamacare will never be an affordable option for patients. Obamacare, as maybe it was originally written, was great. By the time it was eviscerated by Republicans and rewritten by bend-over compromising Democrats, it was a piece of shit. And we all knew it was a piece of shit. The fact that it managed to fly anyway was incredible. Like, well, there's enough duct tape all over this bitch, it'll go. And it did. And it covered 23 million people, shittily. But a lot of those people would have been dead by now had it not covered them to some extent. Scott Galindez is one of them. Democrats and Republicans in Congress should be focusing on how to save the healthcare industry, not the insurance industry. And it's a big message. Businesses can die, should die. There's nothing violent or wrong about that because businesses are not alive. Businesses are not human beings. Businesses don't have hearts and souls. We can talk about that from an analogy, but they're just fucking businesses. And I don't give a shit about anybody's business. Those jobs will go elsewhere. Those people will find jobs. Your business means nothing. I don't care how old it is, how prestigious it is, how huge it is. It's a fucking business. And in the annals of time, it's remarkably insignificant compared to every human life. But our government treats businesses like people. We even have a statement in our laws that says they are. Businesses are first. We can't let a business die. What about those jobs? What about the dead people working for the business? It's a backwards logic that makes no fucking sense here. And it's the people that believe in that logic that we have to forcibly remove from our government, hopefully by votes. I do not support the current efforts to repeal Obamacare and replace it with a worse system. Obamacare was a step forward. I do, however, recommend replacing Obamacare with a better system, which is what was supposed to happen. It's kind of like the Paris Climate Agreement. It wasn't a set in stone 10 commandments. It was, here's some guidelines, but we're actually hoping that you do better, that you improve on this. Here, the Constitution is that. Here's some guidelines. Please make it better. The year is 1776. I bet by 1996 you'll need to make some changes. I have end-stage kidney failure. This is Scott. I work and buy my insurance on the exchange. Obamacare finally allowed me to get insurance and access health care. I was able to start treating my type 2 diabetes. It was too late, however, to save my kidneys. And my insurer will not pay for a transplant in Des Moines. They'll pay for a transplant somewhere else, just not where Scott happens to be, Des Moines. It was too late, however, to save my kidney. My story is not that uncommon. Insurance companies put profit before what is best for the patient. That's why public health care is the best answer. If I lived in Canada, I might not ever have had kidney failure. My diabetes would have received treatment earlier. If I were in Canada, I wouldn't be hearing that my doctor can't put me on the transplant list because my insurer won't pay for it. I acknowledge that with Republicans in power, we are not going to move to single payer anytime soon. But Democrats should stop saying that Obamacare only needs tinkering. The American people understand that it needs more than tinkering, and they are not going to become confident in a party that doesn't understand their concerns. They've lost confidence in the Democratic Party. It's gone. We have a progressive party operating within the Democratic Party. That is exactly what we have going on right now. The Democratic Party is not operating. Right now, they're talking about Hillary Clinton's new book. Single payer will not happen in this Congress, but it is time to make it a demand of the Democratic Party. There is no comparison between single payer and the GOP plan unveiled in the Senate this week. The Republican plan would be a disaster for the American people, particularly for people nearing Medicare eligibility, but not quite there yet. They are the people who need coverage the most. These are the people that, if cared for now, will not need disastrous care later. The expense falls on us. This is the same concept we've been going over and over and over again. If we all invest in our own care, preventative care for all of us, then when we get older and need more care, it'll be there. And everybody who's young thinks, I'm not going to need to take, I won't need care. Screw those old people. And then you get old and you're like, shit, I need care. I'm old. Shouldn't be that hard to figure out. Other countries have figured out this concept. Other countries, their children grow up knowing, it makes sense that we pay a lot into this because when I'm grandpa's age, I'm going to need it. But here in our country, grandpa says, fuck everybody else. I pay for my own health care in America. Because we have a news agency, we have a narrative that is everybody for yourself. There's not enough money to do that, right? We know where the money is. We all know where the money is to do this. Right? I'm really surprised that neither the Democrats or the Republicans in any form have said, why don't we just cut a big effing chunk out of the military-industrial complex budget and buy ourselves some good goddamn health care? That's what I want. A really simple answer. Military-industrial complex budget needs to be cut by about 80%, and that 80% of our money needs to be invested in us. Anyway, this at the same time, Jason Chaffetz just asked for fucking $2,500 a month stipend to buy housing for Congress because they just can't survive on $174K a year. Unbelievable piece of shit. This is the audacity of greed. If I made $174K a year and I couldn't make shit ends meet, I got financial issues. Jesus. He says, I got 2 kids in college. Yeah, a lot of people here, single parents, 2 kids in college, trying to make that ends meet, Jason. Fucking asshole.
This Chaffetz guy, is he the guy who was booed off stage in his town hall?
Yeah, he's one of them. So many of them.
One of them, yes. Yeah, so many. Yeah.
So many. I'm going to skip down to the bottom. I want to, because Scott goes into some details about the GOP bill and what's involved. And we all know that it's a tax cut for the rich, that it actually charges the poor more money for less coverage. It's as bad, if not worse, than the first attempt at a death care bill. And it really is insurance care. It does nothing for us. It does everything for insurance companies. And the only way we change this, folks, is by changing out the people at the top. That's the only way. But we have to start with the people at the bottom. We have to start with the people in our states, right? Changing out Paul Ryan for a Randy Bryce would be huge. What a difference that would make, just not to see Paul Ryan's fucking face on TV anymore. God, I think the whole American public would just be a burst of like pride. He's gone. Fuck yeah, he's gone. And then when Mitch McConnell gets removed, think about that. Think about that glory when we can invest enough into the people that remove the turtle and worthless Ryan. I just fun days. Those are the goals we have to focus on. All right. Everything that we would have done. We're going to get into that. A video that actually we'll probably run that tomorrow. Actually, never mind. I can't say that. All right.
I have to control my anger.
I know you do. Dennis. You can rage off some F-bombs. I'm just going to read Scott's last words here because they're really good. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Some of you are saying that it is. Some of you are saying that it is kind to young, healthy people. I'm talking about the bill, all right? Because it does. The young, healthy people pay the least, right? Until they get old. It's so stupid. I remind you of something a disabled activist told the Women's March crowd in Des Moines. You should all support assistance for the disabled since you will all face disability one day. It's called old age. In 30 years, all those in their 20s who will benefit from not being mandated to pay for a plan today will wish the mandate still existed when it becomes impossible for them to afford to pay the premiums and co-pays that they will have to pay when they start getting sick. Well, unless we get them a real national healthcare system before then. Of course, the Senate bill punts, and so what happens, the Senate bill punts the end of Medicaid expansion until after the 2020 election. They know they couldn't get away with it or do it before. They just put all the really nasty stuff down the road and expecting people to vote on it. It's time for us to stand up and say healthcare is a right. We must stop allowing the healthcare insurance industry to profit without providing any services. Doctors and nurses provide us services. Hospitals and clinics provide medical professionals with the tools to treat us. Insurance companies are middlemen. That's all they are. They're brokers. They're unnecessary brokers. If we had a functioning healthcare system, a national healthcare system, then the government becomes the broker and we control the government. But we let private industry be the broker, like a mobster. Surgery's going to cost you this much. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Healthcare for all, not health insurance. That's the difference. The Republicans wrote a health insurance bill, not a healthcare bill. And we need to think that way. Here's a litmus test for all your Democrats. They got to not say the words access to. That was in our platform. It said access to healthcare. I'm like, bullshit. Must have healthcare. It's not debatable. This is the 21st century in what used to be the greatest nation on earth, according to the people in it. Delusional fucks.
Yep.
How about providing some good healthcare? Even Turkey has some aspects of theirs that's better. That's scary. No offense, Dennis. Turkey.
It's all right.
Mafia care. Darcy, that's nice. Mafia care.
That's what is going on. You're witnessing here a dying man, and your fucking politicians and all these motherfucking idiots in the States have no other issues than money. Are you serious? Hey guys, we have single payer since the 1900s, and you guys are so brainwashed in the last couple of decades to believe you have to do all by yourself, and if you're poor, it's your own fault. If you have mental health issues, it's your own fault. And really, what I said in the tweet on Twitter, what your rich people are doing is genocide on the poor. It doesn't matter on the poor or the poor working class or something else. It's genocide in my eyes.
Yeah, it's sad.
It's purely racism, xenophobia, and so on. There's no other way I can explain it other. But and I don't get it. Why you guys stick with this shitty system for so long? Really, guys, wake up, educate yourself.
That's why we're here, Dennis. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm sitting here and I'm watching this broadcast and I love it. I love you guys. But when I hear all this stuff we are talking about, I'm sitting here and I think to myself, really? Hey, I'm only 20 28 years old, and I don't have much life experience. But really, this is really the best you can do in America. When I grew up, I watched American TV show, cartoons, and movies and documentaries and so on. And I thought to myself, America is really the best country in the world you can live. But I got older. I informed myself. I educated myself about systems around the world and so on. And I saw really what's going on in your country. It's gangster-like. Like the patron is like the president and all the elitists and so on. And if you don't do their bidding or do what they say, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You get killed. Killed in the way that you guys are denied healthcare, basic healthcare.
Yeah. Well, the Ashley Terry and others are saying, Dennis, and you know this, that it's not us. You're preaching to the choir here.
The problem is I don't get the guys who need to hear this. But
yeah, we don't really reach out to that audience.
Dennis, they know about it. They know everything about it. But it is a concept. It is a concept for decades. It is what you rightly said. It is a kind of brainwashing. It was an indoctrination of the neoliberal thoughts and ideas. And this is what made the people in America harm themselves. We saw it earlier with the unions. That factory workers who got the right to vote voted against building a union.
Yep.
You know,
yep.
And this is crazy. This is crazy. This is the indoctrination of neoliberalism, and this is finally it is bought by the people over the decades.
Yep.
That's the problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Jeanette nails it. You're saying the same thing. I mean, we over here the word socialism has been demonized, right? To tell us that it means something that's weakness, something that's evil.
What does socialism mean? Let's look at the word. Social is a community. It's a society. We all live in a society. Nobody is an island. And those people at the top think they are an island.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
What I'm saying though is that for people that are my age and older, okay, especially people older than me, right? My father, his generation. The word socialism in the 60s was pounded as being evil. The Cold War, everything going on, it was anything. You don't talk about socialism. You talk about socialism, you're a traitor. And the narrative on the news was socialism is communism is evil.
Yes.
Just end of it. There's no separation. It's just black and white. It's either democracy or it's wrong. That was the message. And our democracy was right. And if we needed to use bombs to prove it, that was okay. But when other countries used bombs, that was wrong. That was basically the message.
You know what the most important point about all this is? It is that democracy is connected with capitalism in the perception of the people. And this is a big fat lie. Capitalism is opposing democracy. And we got to learn this.
I know. And Darcy, I know. You said the USSR was not. I know. I'm just saying, we grew up with that message. I grew up with that mixed message of narrative. Just it's all wrong. It's all wrong, right? Whatever it is, it's wrong. They separated the social services that we wanted to keep from socialism, right? Your fire department is great. Pay taxes for that. We can see that, but health care for everybody. That's what we have the insurance industry for. That was the problem. If it was a business and it was making money, if fire departments were privatized and fire departments became a money-making industry, holy shit, we would have states and counties with disasters, just be on fire all the time. Think about that. Services have to be nationalized in a place where you've got a lot of citizenry. This is what it's for. But that nationalization is also something that was preached against. When you talk nationalization, now you're talking Nazis. So you combine nationalization with socialism, and you're talking communist Nazis, and everybody goes, ah! That's basically the American indoctrination right there. When the truth is, all of the systems that we've been dicking around with in 18th, 19th, 20th century in terms of government, right? all have their faults, all have their problems. And none of them are the answer. The answer is an evolution of government for the people, and we see that happening all over except for here. All over except for here. We're working on it, though. We're working on it. Ground game is happening. It really is. It for as frustrating as it is, particularly a lot of things going on right now, it is happening. And we'll talk about that.
I wonder why not a CEO of some health insurance companies gotten killed until now. Really, I wonder why.
No, it's. I mean, you've seen that. You've seen people in desperation so far have gone after politicians, right?
Yeah,
And
but they are not only the problem. The lobbyists and the companies are also the problem.
Right, but if you're going to make an impact. You're going to go after the politicians. I mean, they're the ones. You got to remember.
I shut it now. I don't say anything.
I know it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You're right. You're angry. I know you're. It's. I get it. Dennis is angry, I spend a lot of time in the morning screaming at my camera because I don't know what to do with the rage, right? I mean, there's a line that'll get crossed. Maybe. I hope not. I do hope not. But the government's already crossed the line far beyond violence. You know, we haven't yet. We're working really hard. There have been individuals who have made some choices, but as a large group, we haven't run out to be wholly violent against our government yet. But they're asking for it. And I'm not promoting it. I'm just saying they're asking for it. They know they're asking for it. It's almost like they want to just see how much they can push. And the best way for us to push back is to just, right? Yell at the camera all we want. Scream at it.
Yeah.
I do. I broke a keyboard the other morning. I just picked up a keyboard, I threw it across and smashed against the wall. And that keyboard was representative of many politicians' heads.
Yeah.
Okay? But that's okay. Representative violence like that. Go in a room.
Hey, I care about you guys in America because we are all brothers and sisters. We are one human race, and I can't stick with this injustice. Right. Simply at that. Hey, John and everyone in the chat and Markus, we are all connected. We are living on this planet. So hey, this is a planet. So hey, let's start and work it out. That's why I'm so angry, because I care about all the human beings on this earth. Even these rich fucks who don't get the thing right, but they are also human. They also have the right to live and have food and all this stuff. But
Dennis, I completely get you, and I only can agree. And yes, I also have this anger, and this anger started when I learned what happened in the beginning of 2015 when Bernie came up and said that he would run for presidency, and what happened before, and what I learned, what was possible, which I never thought could happen in a country like America. It was unbelievable for me, and there were so often times which I said, no, I cannot do this to me anymore. I cannot see this anymore, because this is so unreal to us here in Germany, to us here in Europe. This is another universe for us, and a very bad universe, you know. And this is what I said last week or the week before, that it is very, very difficult for us here to feel what you guys might feel in the situation you are, and knowing what could be done, and nothing is going to happen. And no, it is even turning more worse than it is already. And strange and crazy, and very, very very bad for your mental health, because and there's a stress factor you guys have constantly, you know, not only since Trump, but remember the Bush years, when the alert system, when the population was held under constant threat of some terrorist attacks. Also, it is horrible to see, you know.
You mean the orange levels and red levels, the threat bullshit? Oh, that was always hilarious.
Yes. During the Bush era, you
It's
know,
an orange day. Whatever.
it's crazy. But this is stress, and you experience this stress for a fucking long time. This is my F-bomb now for this day.
All right.
Yeah.
Just one?
So far, sorry, so far. Fuck you.
That's two?
Yeah, John. Let the
Fucking
Germans
Fox fucking
take
news.
over here.
Angry Germans. Get out of their
Yeah.
way.
No cam boys, angry Germans with righteous anger.
That's right. Angry
Yeah.
Germans. And Ellis, you had it. Channel that anger. Channel that rage. Channel it into working locally. And I mean working locally. Right? That's to take a side step really quick into something I was going to talk about. It's on the card. It's basically ground game. It can't be a hobby. It can't be a hobby. I'm stuck in that spot again. We're working through it. We're working through that slog, right?
Yeah.
This isn't a hobby for me. It's also not a living. It's not a career. You know, I'm not here trying to get views, be the next Jimmy Dore. I joke about that all the time. We have fun joking about that. But I don't have the skills and talent stuff that those guys do, the Lee Camp and Jimmy Dore's. This is a different thing. I want a habitable planet. I want health care. So that I can go keep my arm in decent shape without spending thousands of dollars. You know, I want to see technology advance. I want to see education be actually funded. I want to see our government change. But really, mostly, I just want a habitable planet, because I truly believe that at the rate of acceleration of climate change, we're fucked. I mean, that's my primary driver. Not the success of the Democratic Party or the Progressive Democratic Party or Bernie Sanders or America. I just know that with sea level rising, with CO2 levels rising, and both of these things, the rate of change has increased significantly recently. And when the rate of change accelerates, then you've got to worry. And scientists are freaking their shit right now. This is all news that's been coming out and leaking out and talking about it. What's going on with the ice shelves and they're going, well, things aren't slowing down like we thought. Things aren't just an extreme this or that. We were hoping, because remember, scientists like to go off their least extreme estimates. They're like, down here, we don't like to exaggerate. Let's go with it. Things are far worse than they thought. The news isn't talking about that. Bernie's not even talking about it. I mean, Bernie talks about climate change all the time, but not about how bad things really are. You know? So what I mean when I say this can't be a hobby is that we're stuck between what I'm doing here, what we're all here doing, trying to do, right? Staying sane, and whatever's going to help provide a habitable planet. In my belief, the best way for me to help with this is to work with local government. Right now, I'm trying to work with the local Lynn County Democratic Party and with the Progressive Caucus and anybody else who wants to do that. But here's where we get stuck, is that my virtual production crew doesn't work in the real world. I can do broadcasts like this all the time with Markus and Dennis, and we can do things. The moment it involves a live stream, I need an Ashley Terry. And if I don't have an Ashley Terry where I need the live stream, or a Scott Galindez where I need the live stream, then no live stream. And if I have to actually integrate between the people at that place and here, oh, fuck balls. We're talking all sorts of coordination. We're talking a crew. We're talking the shit that real TV stations do with millions of dollars of equipment and lots of people being paid lots of money. What I'm trying to say is that if we're going to bridge these worlds, if we're going to utilize these tools here for change, for the Democratic Party, for the Progressive Party, then I need people who can dedicate themselves to some time consistently, to be trained to do things locally if we're going to have live streams at like the Lynn County Democrats or other places, right? In the end, though, I have to decide how important this is to the overall goal. That's the thing that I'm like weighing is like, well, how much of my effort do I need to spend here? How important is this to achieving the goals? And how important does the Democratic Party think? Because I don't want to, I'm not, my goal isn't to do what I've seen others do and come in and go, look at me, look at what I've got, look at my agenda. Let's all focus on this and not the actual solutions we need to achieve, right? That's not my purpose here. But we have to, I got to figure this out. And we're in the process of figuring this out. How are we going to have people on the ground? Are we going to be able to do this? Are we going to rent the equipment from the Majestic? And are we going to train some people on the ground to get it done? And when that happens, the problem is, and I'm just laying this all out here because I'm hoping maybe I can use this later to play for Graham and the other people that I have to go to a meeting to talk about this in general. The problem becomes then we need a volunteer coordinator. We need shifts. We need, it becomes a media network. It has to run that way. If you're going to have a media network, it needs to be run like one. It's not a drop in whenever you feel like it, do 5 minutes of work and go away. It can be scheduled down to a process and made very efficient, but it's going to take training and somebody dedicated to that coordination. That's where things fall apart. That's where this whole thing implodes and has imploded many, many times before. I don't want to hijack the Dem party. I don't want to hijack the progressive Dems. I'm just telling you the reality of how this works. That in order to do sustained weekly shows and keep things going, we're going to need people trained and dedicated and willing to spend the time. You guys know, Dennis and Markus and Katie and Laura Livengood and everybody, you guys know the amount of time it takes just to do this. So
yeah,
I know you would volunteer as a correspondent from Turkey, and I appreciate that, Dennis. Would you go to actual Turkey? Would you go there? Can you go there?
Yeah.
That would be
Anytime.
the thing would be I don't even know that we'd have the technology to do a good stream from Turkey. I've never tried that.
Yeah, that's another topic. But if there was something like elections or something, I can get holidays at my workplace any day I want.
Right.
And I have a house there, and I have several homes there, so it will not be a problem for me to travel there.
I appreciate
because everything would be cared for, accommodation, food, and so on.
Nice. Well,
So,
but it's almost easier for me to get. I can get international correspondence. It's not like that's not a problem. This technology is designed to do that. Let's bring you in from the internet. There we are. But when we're integrating real life events and speakers with the internet, it becomes, a crew. I just wanted to get that out and talk about it because we're going to figure it out. This is a new thing. This is what we were trying to do to begin with Bernie 2016 TV. The original idea was let's work directly with the campaign and be the campaign's media network. And that was when I learned that there was a lot more to it than just that. So, I mean, in the general sense, maybe not for a presidential candidate, Bernie Sanders, absolutely for Lynn County Democrats, right? It's just a question of getting it working and going. Anyway, I just wanted to express that, get that out there, the frustration, the where we're at, where we sit with that, and why I've been really preoccupied with that because a lot more things have been happening on the ground, and so that's why, Mark Casebear, liberals have been off duty for years while conservatives destroyed reason and language in schools. I would agree. I would agree. Charles Mon says, I wish I had the time to do more for you. John. Yeah, Charles was great. I wish you did too, Charles. But that's the thing. Like Charles and Larry Taylor, they were down at the SEC meeting. If you didn't see the interview we did with them, it was great. They talked about what they were doing. And congratulations, Charles Mon, for becoming the chair of the Democratic Party Gun Caucus. I think that's what it is, the Oregon Gun Caucus. Put the direct thing in there. I mean, that's the other thing. Like the people that are moving around, going to all these places, that takes a ton of time. So it's not like I can ask the same people that are volunteering all these hours driving down to Burns, Oregon, and I mean it takes more people. We have to find more people. It's really what it is. We have to find more people. So anyway.
And in the best case, worldwide. You know.
Well, yeah, in the best case, worldwide, but really, I'm for practicality's purpose, we need people on the ground in the United States of America because we have to change. Your country's already fixed mostly, so just be patient. Jeez.
And we German have to thank you, Americans, for the team that you sent here to write our constitution and so on. So, yeah, thank you.
That was a different time.
Yeah, you can see what you Americans are capable of. Thank you for building this great nation of Germany after World War II.
Yes. All right, we've talked a lot about other stuff today. And not any of the actual, well, not really a lot of the actual news I was going to talk about.
John, put me off the camera. I want to smoke a cigarette, man.
You're not on camera. You're not on camera. Smoke your cigarette. No.
It's a preview.
When Dennis and... Look, that's ratings. Smoke your cigarette and kick back. Do your German pose. Here. Here's the... We got to get the German pose. There we go. All right, ratings will soar. Everybody just watch that for a while. Just, there we go. German smoking... Charles Mon says it also gives me an SCC vote. That's badass. That's important. You know why that's important? Because the SCC votes, if I'm not mistaken, are the votes that matter for the chair positions. I think. Charles, I think that's what Charles. I think that's how it works. That those are the people that vote for the chair positions. I think that anyway, that's a position of power. He votes on stuff I don't get to vote on. I'm a PCP. I vote on some stuff, right? But the stuff I vote on isn't as important as the stuff he's going to vote on. And that's another step in power. You guys realize that's all Paul Ryan did to come into power. He didn't even do that. He worked for a crappy, now Governor Brownback. Before that, he was probably doing, political aid somewhere. That was it. He just took the jobs. Of course, he was handed big jobs right along the way, but that's it. You got to work up the ranks. You got to get educated in how government plays, right? How does it play? Oh, man, I just closed it. That was bad of me. All right, we're going to go through a couple things really fast because we don't have as much time. I talked about way too much stuff. This is just... You want to know we have bad training? This is unbelievable. White St. Louis police officer shoots off-duty black officer. And he wasn't even supposed to be there. This entire story is frightening. There was an off-duty black cop. There were two cops who were there who didn't know what was going on. They were in the process of identifying this guy as an off-duty cop. They figured out he was an off-duty cop. Some other white cop shows up, sees the situation, and just decides it's a good time to unload on the fucking black guy. It's like, where in your brain, if you have one, did that decision become a good one?
He felt threatened?
Yes, he felt threatened. There were two other cops there. This cop was on the ground, and they were talking to him. This is the stupidity. Cops are so stupid in this country, so undertrained, so not prepared for actually being a real cop, that they're shooting each other. Shooting each other. How do you train fucking people that stupid that they will shoot each other and question each other's trust?
If you're cynic,
unbelievable.
It would be a good solution anyway.
Oh my God. No, not a good solution because it's a bunch of racism.
Yes, when all the bad cops kill each other, then there's place for the good ones.
Yeah, unfortunately, the bad cops are killing good ones.
This is bullshit, yeah.
And they're veterans. By the way, 11 years of service on the one that was hit, and the one that did the shooting was 8 years of service. 8 years as a cop, and that was the experience he brought to the table there. Don't know what's going on, but I'm going to put a round in that fucker. 8 years. Could you imagine a doctor at 8 years of actual table experience doing something like that? Well, something wrong with the heart. Give me a number 10. There we go. Unfucking believable. How can cops be so fucking stupid? I ask cops, not that I have any here, but that's just stupid. You should all be embarrassed for yourselves nationally. just be embarrassed. We have, I was going to call it the Barney Fife police, but Barney Fife was a better cop. He had a heart. Bernie Sanders joined everybody else in condemning the Republican bill. We're trying to get Paula Swearingen to come on the show. She's getting ready to take on Manchin. If you want a good reason to donate to Paula Jean's campaign, which I did put a link to this article in the description, anybody who can get rid of Joe Manchin, who basically said, I'm a Republican in the Democratic Party, and if you don't want me here, you're going to have to vote me out. Very publicly made that clear. Like, I like Trump. I'm going to vote for his policies and for his people, even though I ran as a Democrat. And if you don't like it, vote me out. Bye.
And
Joe.
now,
yes.
No. Now Manchin demands that there should be efforts to prevent that someone else would primary him. So nothing with vote me out. He wants to stop that anyone else from the Democratic Party or somewhere else would primary him so that he would stay in office.
Well, right, but he's already said his literal quote was, vote me out. If you don't like me, run against me.
Yes, this was his quote. Yes, this was his quote. Yeah. And now he's trying to avoid this.
Oh, he is? He's trying to get well, too late. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah, of course it must happen.
Yeah. It's going to happen. So, yes, everybody is talking about Michael Wood Jr., and we are looking into Michael Wood Jr. and possibly having him on Awake. So, thank you. We're looking into that. Yep.
I hope she wins. I really hope.
What?
I hope really that she wins the Senate seat.
I agree.
Because West Virginia is really like a third world country. The people are really, really suffering. Yeah.
No, I know it is. It's pretty. It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
When you read the article, she talks about the color of the water they drank. I couldn't imagine growing up as a kid and drinking water that color that was full of mining acid and bullshit. And just this is America. That sounded like something I'd read as a kid growing up. Like you said, a third world country, right? A country America went in and destroyed.
Yeah.
We're going to watch something that's very powerful, though. This is good. This will anger you, but you'll feel better.
I will mute myself.
All right, you mute yourself. This is shutting down white privilege, which we need to do more of. And well, we'll talk about that. And talk about this in a minute. Something that Ashley said in Slack about not alienating Hillary voters, not alienating a part of the Democratic Party. And I disagree there. But I want to separate. I just want to separate the wheat from the chaff. That's all. Right? I want to separate the racists from the non-racists. I want to turn off Slacker before we move into this. Okay, so listen to this. This is, I'm not going to sit here and let him do that. Louisiana's Rep. Cedric Richmond shuts down Rep. Steve King. We all know Steve King. He's a big asshole, right? Iowa. He's also a racist fuck. And we're going to listen to that white privilege right here.
It's not appropriate, it's insensitive, and it's nothing more than traditional white privilege of let me criticize a minority city.
That shocking number in El Salvador, 93.09 violent deaths per 100,000. Shocking. Until I looked up the data, and there, the violent death rate, that was actually characterized as a homicide rate in New Orleans, was 90 per 100,000.
Mr. Chairman,
Very close to the 93.09.
Mr. Chairman, we're going to lose all civility in this committee if he thinks it's appropriate to compare New Orleans to Guatemala. Now,
the gentleman will suspend. The gentleman from Iowa has a right to make a statistical comparison between two locations.
Well, you're comparing the people in the locations. That'd be like me comparing them to somebody in the Klan. I don't have a basis to do that.
When the gentleman has completed his remarks, I'll be happy to recognize the gentleman from Louisiana to make his arguments to the contrary, but he's entitled to make those remarks.
We just had a conversation about civility in this United States Congress. Now, I wear badges of bipartisanship because I actually take up and stand up for principles. I am not going
Gentlemen,
to
we'll
sit here and let him do that. Now, the people I love, the people I respect, and I live in New Orleans. Now, if the gentleman persists on it, then let's go in the back and have the conversation about New Orleans. But I am not going to sit here and do that. And if it takes walking across over there, then I'm prepared to do that too. But it's not appropriate, it's insensitive, and it's nothing more than traditional white privilege of let me criticize a minority city. Now, take it how you want. I'm telling you how I feel.
Not even a single F-bomb, but boy, you could feel him.
Wow.
Yeah. We need more people speaking like that to the rich white fucks that sit in our government. Rich fucks like Steve King and his white racist friends. We need to get rid of those people and replace them with people like you and me. That's what we have to do. The power lies there. In the asshole that says the chair will recognize me. That guy needs to be booted out of office and put in a retirement home. With Diane, with Nancy, all of the worthless old fucks. All of them. Yeah, that was a nice rant by that guy. And unbelievable that he... This is another reason why I could never do government. I wouldn't sit still. I would have walked across the aisle and shut your fucking mouth, asshole. He doesn't even understand what he's comparing there. That's the point. We have people in government so uneducated, they don't even understand how to have intelligent discourse. And they fail to comprehend basic sentences. And they use the word literally all the time when it doesn't mean what it means. Really bugs me. Anyway, that was a good rant. The whole Handmaid's Tale thing is great for people like Mike Pence who are afraid of women. He was met with a bunch of handmaiden. See, they came to show up. I like this one. Abort Mike Pence. God, we wish. We wish. Just to go back in time. You know, too many places to go back in time. If you're going to do that. Too many places. Oh my gosh. We're almost out of here. I swear. Look. It's one thing to want to wear retros, 20s, 30s styles. I know that millennials are going back to it, right? With the handlebar mustaches and the funky hair from the era with the grease down stuff, because that was popular, and the vests and the other weird shit. And that's standard within a society that we recycle old things. In the 80s, we were recycling the 50s. And the 50s were popular. And so we recycled a lot of that shit. And, you know, it was a little time for different things that evolved. And my parents laughed. Like, oh, we did that back then. It wasn't just the 50s. You kind of mix and match different eras and bring it back. Right now, there's this kind of surge in the 20s, 30s, Victorian-ish era. You know, I'll go 1890 all the way up to the 30s. And Eric Trump just got himself a haircut. Makes him look basically like somebody who's interested in a eugenics program, 1930. Right? It's yeah. And Dennis said, well, it's my haircut. No, there's just something. No. He, this Eric Trump guy, he looks like he just joined the Hitler Youth. Yes, he does.
Yeah.
And he's very excited about it. That's what that is. That's a Hitler Youth cut, and that's there's a difference. Go ahead and look retro,
Finally,
millennials.
someone respects me.
What, Dennis?
I'm playing 45 Sun now. Now someone respects me and loves me like my father never did. Oh yeah, look at me, look at me, look at me.
Is that what that is?
Idiot. Yeah, I think, yeah.
Nice, Dan.
His father should have kissed him one or twice on the cheek.
Do you really think Trump as a father would have? I don't even think he was present.
That's why I'm saying that. I mean this in a sarcastic way.
Yes, definitely sarcastic. Retro Nazi, Melissa.
Yeah, Melissa. Go on, girl.
Yes, Ashley Terry. I am racially profiling Eric Trump. Actually, I was just going to open the statement with the same thing that Mashable said. Yes, it's absolutely okay to make fun of Nazi haircuts. I'm just saying. Absolutely okay. I don't really care. You make fun of my haircut all the time. It's a mullet. I don't give a shit. Make fun of my fucking hair. I will make fun of Nazi hair because it's funny looking. I really think it is. I think the little mustache is funny. I think handlebar mustaches are funny. I think the haircut like that is funny. And what's funny is that I would even give a shit. I really don't. Me, Mr. Guy of Hair, right? So, you know, I'm not racially profiling Eric Trump. I'm just giving him shit about a crappy haircut. And he's a dickhead asshole. So who cares? Anyway, not the mustache. Right. Anything but the mustache, right? That's really what it is. This is a fake art. This is from The Onion. We're almost out of here. We're actually going to make it on time, I think. No, that's Dennis. That's not from The Onion. This is I thought this was real because Frontier Airlines tells customers to just fucking deal with it. You're uncomfortable for a few hours, and then you get to be somewhere else, says CEO. If you guys don't know, Frontier is one of the absolute worst, bottom of the fucking barrel shit airlines now. They've gone total what they call like a self-serve mode, which basically means you don't get anything without money. Nothing. Maybe a glass of water. And they're really bad about it. And they don't give a fuck. Frontier knows they're selling a polished turd that isn't even polished all that well unless you can afford to have it polished. And they just don't give a fuck. I was on the airplane, and I didn't know this. I took one Frontier flight mistakenly when I had to do all these flights back and forth taking care of my mom. And I took Frontier because it was the cheapest and get me there. And it was the last time I took Frontier. The woman on the plane the stewardess came by and said, would you like something to drink? And I said, yeah, ginger ale, because I always get a ginger ale, because they always give you a fucking ginger ale or always give you something, right? Booze you have to pay for and something fancy you got to pay for. But usually you pay a couple $100 for a plane ticket to go in the air for a couple hours. They're not going to feed you anymore. They don't give you cards. They don't give you a pillow. They don't give you a blanket anymore like they used to in the good old days. They don't even give you enough space to sit. They don't even let you stand up anymore. You can't even walk around. You can't go to the bathroom when you want to. You rarely get a movie. But you should at least get a soda. Doesn't even cost them a dime. But nope. If I wanted a soda, and this is what I was told by the stewardess who tried to upsell me, she said, it's $2. And that's still less than what you'd pay in the airport for it. And I was like, if we weren't 30,000 feet in the air, I'd throw you out the fucking door. Anyway.
Do they long distance flights or only flights in the U.S.?
Across the U.S. I mean, I was on a flight I was on a 4-hour flight.
Yeah,
right?
so then fuck it.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, you're really going to make me pay $2 for this soda? Really? $2 for the soda? Frontier. So any chance I get, I let everybody know just how shit Frontier is. The problem is in America, third world nation on the rise, as a third world nation, most people can't afford to pay for the good expensive seats because there really is a big gap in cost. You're either riding a shit train or you're flying good. That's, Southwest, sometimes that's what I try to fly now, right? But, man, make airplanes great again. It's just because I wanted to rag on Frontier because I'm still mad about him. That would be awesome. Want to touch a cloud? Kimmo, say it with a smile. Yes, say it with a smile. How else can we do it? How do neoliberals get to use the word liberal? I don't know. That's a really good question. Okay.
Yeah, liberal, freed of all rules. That's near. That's it. That's what it means.
Yes. I was gonna. Okay, we're running late. There's a 4-minute clip from Lee Camp on epilepsy and cannabis that you guys can run and enjoy it, and it'll be fun. But we're going out today because I got to get out of here. I got stuff to do. We're going out with a song that I didn't pick because I didn't have time. And it's weird because I thought they were talking English, but I think they're talking other languages. It's one of those weird multicultural band things. Markus picked it. It's
I do.
You want to tell me about this? What?
Yeah, of course. And it's a European band, and they're existing since 1987. And it is mostly the The full name of the singer of the band is José Manuel Tomás Artur Chao. And he is a French-born musician. He has Spanish roots, and he sings in different languages. He sings in, I gotta read it out. He sings in French, Spanish, English, Italian, Arabic, Catalan, Galician, Portuguese, and occasionally in other languages.
Jeez.
And he mixes is sometimes in one song. And he is more an alternative rocker, or comes from punk rock. He includes many different music styles, and makes his own sound, and he's pretty unique. After his first band Mano Negra broke up in '95, he went on solo with his band Radio Bamba, and from a live concert with Radio Bamba, we see It's Raining in Paradise, and it unfortunately it ends abruptly at 3 minutes 55 because another song continues right after this, and I don't know why it was cut. There are only 2 or 3 seconds missing, just that you guys know it. And it's an up-tempo punk rock song, but it's a revolutionary song. And in this song, he talks about the situations in countries like Ethiopia, in Congo, in Jordania, and everywhere where it is for the people very difficult and very dangerous to live, and this should be changed. And it's a live concert, and you see the crowd there are going nuts there, and
they are.
Yeah, I hope you guys like it.
It's cool. It's a cool song.
Yeah, it is.
Whether you can understand what he's saying or not, it's a cool song, and it's a big crowd. So thank you. Good pick.
Yeah.
Markus,
Thank you.
the coach. Dennis, Markus, thank you both so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for having me too. Yeah.
Yeah, and for educating us, ignorant Americans. All right, everybody. Thank you. All right. Everybody in Slack, everybody that's helping to continue to put this together, everybody in the audience right now, everybody whose name I didn't catch, because I really try to catch everybody's name that's live, everybody that watches later. I know you're there. All of you. Every single person. You're all important, and you're all an important part of making this planet better for all of us. So thank you for being here. Thank you for doing what you do. Continue on. If you want to get in touch with me for any reason whatsoever, info@bernie2016.tv. If you want to volunteer, send it there as well. If you're already in touch with me locally, let me know what you can do, what you want to do. We're working together to make this happen. And it's going to take a long time. It really is. It's not... one of the things that we got to remember each day is it's a piece at a time. We have a lot to accomplish, and sometimes that can get really discouraging. And for me, lately, it's been discouraging. So you kind of have to take each day, each moment as, look, what's going to happen today that I can be proud of or reward myself with or feel good about that is, whatever it is. If you guys are having that same issue, I highly recommend getting involved with any group at the local level. As much as I hate going to meet people in person, when I do, I enjoy it, and it's fulfilling, and it makes me feel like I'm not powerless, and like things are actually moving forward, right? Take that step if you haven't already and get involved locally, especially if you're in America. All countries need to do this to save our ass, but in America, we got a long way to go. So thank you all for being here, and remember, tomorrow after the show, which we having somebody on tomorrow? Tomorrow after the show, or not after the show, tomorrow evening, Randy Bryce, right? Iron Stash is going to be with us. It'll be a fun time, and I'm absolutely certain I'll fuck something up. Bye, everybody. Here is Rainin' in Paradise, Manu Chao Radio Bemba. Is that even close, Markus?
That's right.
Bye, everybody.
destiny. We can go crazy. It's a calamity. Come outside, leave it alone. Come outside, be shy. Come outside, leave it alone. Come outside, be shy. We're gonna still on the destiny. We can go crazy. It's a calamity. In Palestina, too much hypocrisy.